Welcome back to another episode of Halfway Up, and I call it Halfway Up because you'll never finish rising. And today is going to be a very special episode to me, and I'm going to tell y'all why. When I was growing up, I used to go to church with my dad. And when I went to church with my dad, after Sunday services, we would do these things called the men's meeting. And as a shorty, it would be so cool to see my dad like speak intelligently and like speak with these other men that are like powerful and they like doing things, they getting money, they strong in their career.
Right.
And I was like, wow, like, because I grew up with my mom for the most part.
Okay.
So to be in a space to see all these men be so smart, be so intelligent, be so fly, have honor, integrity, all these things that like you would hope to have when you become a man one day.
Mm-hmm.
I was always attracted to that, you know? But you don't really get to hear a lot of conversations like that in this generation. You know, it's not the coolest thing in the world to hear a man speak about why he's proud to be a man, how he became a man, what it took for him to become a man.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like we're going to discover a lot of that in this conversation right here. I feel like we're going to be able to get deep into that. And I know that that's something that's warm to my heart. And I know for other guys who might not have a father in their life or might not have any positive male role model in their life, to listen to this episode, they're going to get a lot of game. They're going to get a lot of jewelry from that.
Absolutely, bro.
Fact. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean? So with that being said, y'all already know who I am, but I would love y'all to give an opportunity to introduce yourselves, please.
Go ahead, man.
No, I'm going to throw it over the mic first.
Throw it over the mic. Go ahead, Mike.
Mike is the man that brought me in the building.
It's Michael Sept. I am a health coach and trainer, have been for about 12 plus years now, which is crazy to say that. Getting a little, long in the tooth in the game here. But I'm really happy and excited to sit down here with you, man, because, everybody's situation is different. We all grow up with different people that motivate us and inspire us and push us to be better men along the path. And it's not always directly correlated to just like a father, because not everybody has access to that, like you mentioned.
True.
So I'm definitely excited to kind of talk about just, my story a little bit and how I got here and, proudly sitting here as a strong black man,
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
100%.
That's a powerful statement right there.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm Jason Lacayo, referred to as the real Jumpman Jay because of my sneaker collection. I ain't got nothing to do with basketball. So. I've been a police officer for 19 years, man. So I've been doing this a long time. And, I'm just happy to be in the building, man. I was talking off camera and basically just saying I'm looking forward to the next phase of my life, man, because this is just one aspect of me, but I feel like if I truly want to live in my purpose, I have to leave this job to really live in my purpose.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to fulfilling what that purpose is, when I'm done with this portion of my life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So my first question that I want to ask y'all, obviously there's no right or wrong way to answer this, but from your perspective, if somebody was to ask you, how would you define a man? What would be your answer to that? And I came up with this question because it's like on social media, I've seen plenty of content where like somebody asked a woman, like, define, what is the definition of a woman? And she didn't want to answer it. And we're living in a generation where it's like people are afraid to give their perspective on that answer out of fear of offending somebody else and out of fear of getting canceled.
Cancel culture is real.
Cancel culture is a real thing. It's shifting people's freedom of speech.
100%. I feel like people's perspectives on things are changing and being molded into certain avenues because they feel like they have to. Because nobody wants to be castrated or nobody wants to feel
Don't nobody
ashamed.
want that.
Nobody
Lose their job.
Nobody wants to feel like they're being tagged and stuff. And I understand all that, but I mean, to answer your question, I feel like for me personally, from my own experiences, I feel like a man is somebody that's able to stand 10 toes down, able to stay within his morals and be able to take care of those loved ones that are around him. That is his job. That his priority on earth is his responsibility to take care of the loved ones that are around him. Somebody that is well respected, somebody that has a high character and integrity and doesn't
everything
talking heavy.
and just doesn't buckle under pressure, And I think that's a huge thing now, is I think we're too easily pressured into making decisions and choices, whether it's social media, friends, family, and things of that nature. And I think what we're losing is the ability to say, like, this is who I am, this is how I move, and you're not gonna judge me for that. And if you do judge me, I don't care. I think
Yeah.
that's a good basis for like what a man should be moving
That's
around like.
an amazing answer. That's
Yeah,
solid.
That shit was spot on.
That shit was spot on, right?
He said everything I was gonna say. Like,
You just gotta say it different
You
now.
gotta
'cause
say
He
it
already
different now,
did it.
you know, like
for sure.
yeah, I mean, just to kind of piggyback what Mike was saying is, you know, the two things you're supposed to do as a man is provide and protect.
Yep.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So fulfilling that purpose, right? Being able to provide for your loved ones and protect your loved ones, but also there's a duality that we have as men, right? You know, there's a masculine side of us, but we need to also have the nurturing side of us. And I
Mhm.
feel like a lot of men didn't grow up with that nurturing side. You know, we were always taught to, you know, kind of that tough love, right?
Mhm.
And one thing I think that I don't know if it's getting like super normalized now, but I mean, when I grew up and we lost in a game, like dudes got upset. You saw maybe one or two guys crying. And I think that's a safe space, right? It's okay for a man to cry. I think, you know, we try to take crying and kind of downplay it, right? But I mean, let's be real, right? You deal with so many pressures out in the world, right?
Mhm.
Eventually, at some point, you're gonna have a breaking point, and you're gonna have to be able to find a safe space in which you can let it out. You know, there's that dude. I think his name is Jason Wilson. He's like a sensei or something, and his whole premise is like he's teaching young black men how to survive. You know what I'm saying? But he's
Oh, I
doing
know who
it.
you're talking about.
Yeah, he does
Mhm.
it via like martial arts.
Mhm.
Yeah, no.
And
Oh, I know
so-
exactly what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
For
yeah,
sure.
and
Yes, yes, he deals
I-
with the youth a lot.
Yes.
yes, yes, yes.
he's a
he
prime
do.
example of what I believe a man is because he shows his masculine side, but he
Mhm.
also shows his nurturing side.
Mm-hmm.
You know, telling these kids, hey, it's okay to cry, it's okay to be scared. But what are you gonna do with that emotion? You have to redirect it and channel it.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, being able to provide, protect, and nurture, I think that's the key part that I think a lot of people don't realize is that you have to be able to nurture those who don't have that father-like figure that's in their life or that
Yep.
positive role model and show them the way. You know what I'm saying? So just, you know, like each one teach one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
in
for
essence.
sure.
I mean, I
I
think
mean-
he did a little better than piggybacking, man.
Yeah.
I think he dropped a couple Jews on him.
Nah,
there,
he
man.
definitely did. He definitely did. I heard a saying one time that pressure is made for shoulders, not hips, right? I do believe that men, our bodies, it's not a coincidence that we're designed it the way that we are. And we're designed that way because we're supposed to be utilized in a certain kind of way.
Absolutely.
We're supposed to be utilized in a certain, we're supposed to do the dirty work sometimes when it's not sex.
Absolutely.
And it's not that women are not capable of doing all type of many things, right? Women are very powerful, strong in all kind of ways. I don't
Mhm.
want to put them in a monolith, specifically because I don't want to piss nobody off.
No,
but like,
100%.
overall, though, it's like we just built for the battle of life in a different kind of way, and I think
100%.
that's your birthright as a man. And I think
Yes.
it's when you find something that you're willing to live for and something that you're willing to die for, now it's time for you to utilize that birthright that God gave you.
Yep.
The strength of your shoulders, the strength of your biceps, the strength of your mind.
Mhm.
You know, like as a guy who's been with many women in my life and I grew up with all women, I would say I grew up in a matriarch. I could definitely say that there are things that I've been able to see in life that women around me just have not been able to see for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And that's the provision that God gave me. That's a special thing, a special sight that God gave me, right? And so you're not doing your job as a man when you got these things that God clearly gave you and you're not
Not
using
utilizing
it,
it.
not
Yeah.
utilizing it,
Yeah.
you're not using it to help them.
Yeah, you're not honoring those gifts.
You're not honoring those
Absolutely.
gifts. So in my mind, like if I was to define a man, it's like, listen, like you're gonna get every student has to follow a master at some point. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
The master is God. I got to get the orders from God, got to see what he got to
Big
say.
facts.
And then I'm going to take that and be like, all right, this is my interpretation of what I think God said that we got to do.
Absolutely.
And if I've earned a woman's respect and I made her feel comfortable enough to follow me when it's time to follow, then trust and believe that I listen to him first. And so the source is coming from good information.
Yeah.
You're never gonna fail if you're doing it like that.
Yeah.
And just to again piggyback on what you were saying, is funny is that you mentioned is that I grew up in the same manner. I grew up around a lot of women,
Mm-hmm.
way more than males, all the way up until
Same.
probably I was like a teenager before I could say I had like a steady
Mm-hmm.
male influence.
I can
on
say the
kids.
same, low-key, yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
When I hit, but for those first, my first, I'd say 12, 13 years of my life, I saw a sister, my mother,
Mm-hmm.
my aunts on my
Mhm.
mother's side.
Facts, yeah.
And so I got to see how they interacted with one another, how they
Mhm.
communicated with one another, how they expressed themselves, whether they were
Mhm.
happy, upset. And I realized, like you were mentioning earlier, is how they wear their emotions on their sleeve, and it's not always a negative thing.
No, not
It's
at all.
not. And we're not saying,
Yeah.
and I don't.
I was trying to be careful to not make it seem like that.
I'll make the point. I'm right there with you.
Mhm.
But what it allows you to do as a man is it gives you the ability to read them better.
Mhm.
And I think as men, that's a good thing for us. Like
Mhm.
we don't want to. I'm gonna be honest with you. Men are simple to a degree, right? We're
absolutely.
very like A, B, C,
For sure.
right? A woman could be A, M, Z.
Mhm.
They could be all up and
Yeah.
down the alphabet, and that's fine, right?
It's fine.
But as men, it's okay that a woman wears her emotions on her sleeve because it gives us the ability to read things, adapt to things, and fix things more efficiently. And I think, like you were saying earlier, it's on us to take those steps and take those measures.
Mhm.
And it's funny that you grew up like that because that's exactly how I grew up. Like now, I could just see things a little different now. I can see when things are coming,
For
when they're
sure.
not coming.
For sure.
I can get out the way. I can stand in the
100
way.
Come on, you understand.
You know what I'm saying?
You understand.
I know when it's time to stand
Right.
strong, and I know when it's time to be like, yep, let that one go by.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
know, whether it's family, relationships, friends, whatever, you just have a better intuition about it now. So I
Yeah.
definitely think growing up around females gives you like a little edge
Yeah.
in that department.
And it's just
Sure.
it's just playing your role, bro.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
like nobody comes to the table being able to do absolutely everything.
Everything, yeah.
No.
Like, you know, like you hear conversations. We see all the conversations on social media where they like, what do you bring to the table, right? Like my whole perspective on that, a table got 4 legs.
Yeah,
It's my 2 and it's yours.
I like that.
Oh, I like that.
I
That's
like
a gem
that.
right there.
That's
Yep.
the table. You know what I mean? So I can't do everything. So the
Nah.
things that you can't do, it just so happens to be God designed me to be able to, come through in them areas type shit.
Yeah. Nah, I like that. That's actually.
My man's dropping gems.
Hey, bro,
I'm gonna have to
That
click the save-
table joint, I'm gonna have to use
I'm gonna have to
that.
click the save button on that one real
Yeah,
quick. Gotta
definitely
make sure
gonna
we
use that.
We got to go
Yeah,
back to
yeah.
that. Nah, I love that, man, because I think we
I'm
hear
gonna apply
that.
that to my life, man.
Yeah,
I think
100%,
that was
man.
for sure was a bar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
I actually dislike hearing that all over social media nowadays, man.
Gotta stop
I hate
this.
that that's like a mainstay question
Gotta stop
when
this.
you're asking men or women is like, what do you bring to the table? It's like we never asked that. Like my mom never asked that from my stepdad before
Mhm.
they ended up, meeting each other and falling in love with one another. I guarantee you she never asked him that question. And I guarantee you he never asked her that question.
Mhm.
You just do. And the table builds itself.
You just
You know what
do.
I mean? Like I bring this piece, and all of a sudden a year goes by, 2 years go by, 20, 30 year goes by,
Right.
and now you got this fully furnished home.
Right.
Fact.
You know what I mean?
Fact.
And that they built piece by piece. And
Yeah.
there was never a point in time where I had to ask you what you brought to the table.
Mhm.
So I am definitely disappointed in our generation to the degree where I feel like we're asking too many questions and not taking enough action.
Mm.
Fact.
I think there's way less action and way more talking nowadays. And
That's the truth, though. I mean, you ain't lying about it. I feel like that whole what do you bring to the table, right? That's all based on like perception, right?
Mhm.
So there's certain things. This is one thing I stand on, and a woman should be able to fill in all the gaps that I can't fill in myself,
Right.
right? That makes a genuine partnership, right?
Mhm.
So where I lack, you pick me up, vice versa,
Mhm.
right? And I think there's a lot of intangibles that you can't see up front. Like a woman is able to do certain things I'm incapable of. And so that's why I rely on the woman to do that. You know what I'm saying? And there's certain
Absolutely.
things that she is incapable of.
Absolutely.
And then I then play my role. So
Absolutely.
like it goes back to what you were saying, like knowing your role, knowing the lane that
Mhm.
you're in, and being able to just work with one another and fill those pockets. That's why I really that the table on the
Yeah.
legs kind of resonates, because collectively we can build this table, right? But
Right.
it's, table has 4 legs, two from you and 2 from me.
me.
Absolutely,
And
man.
so, and that's how a real partnership should work. You know what I'm saying? So understanding what your role is, and her understanding what her role is, and then you just feeding off one another and then becoming a collective.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
to me, that is like
That's
where
huge. Yeah.
that is the definition of like a positive union, and how you're able to build one another up. Because I think people look for surface level things, and you should be looking for those intangibles.
Yeah.
There you go. Whew.
What is your favorite part about being a man?
The ability to protect. I take great pride in that, on so many aspects, because I mean, by definition, I consider myself like an alpha male, right?
Mhm.
But I also know, like, if an alpha goes into another room with other alphas, I understand where I fit in that room. I don't look at anybody as competition. I know
Mhm.
what role and what I bring to the table and what I'm capable of. It's never a competition thing,
Nope.
right? So when I get in rooms with like other alphas, if they're better than me, I'm just trying to learn from them. I'm asking questions. I'm trying to learn. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like we live in a society where we got a lot of gatekeepers, and they don't want to, share the gems, right? They don't want to be able to sit in a room with other men and not view them as competition, but view them as an inspiration and using them as something to, aspire to be.
Man.
Because you should be in a circle with men that you admire.
100%.
That goes back to like you seeing your father in church and speaking amongst other men and them looking at him as he was the source. So they was getting everything from him. So they was learning from him. He was, and in part, he's learning from them as well. Because they're sitting
100%.
there, you know what I'm saying, listening to what he's speaking on. And he's learning from them because they're going to come back with like, I implemented what you said.
Right.
And it changed my life in this aspect.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, being a man is just, the ability, the ability to protect, but also just to be able to be in a room with other alphas and just know where I stand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's fire.
Yeah, it's fire. I mean, that would definitely be where I would lean at too, because that's just how I grew up. But
Yeah.
I've learned as I've gotten older, what I've fallen in love with is my ability to provide, whether it's for my family
Mhm.
or whether it's for the woman I'm with
Mhm.
or the people that are around me as a man.
Mhm.
That is priceless to me. If you ask any of my friends or anything like that, they know me for, I'll give you the last dollar out of my account if I know it's going to make a situation better for you or somebody
time.
around me. Every time.
Every
You
time.
never got to worry about that with me. All right. And I'm the same way with my relationships, and I'm the same way with my family. And I think as a man, being able to, silently work behind closed doors as we do, whether we struggling or we up or we middle ground. If you are alpha, you'll never know.
Yeah.
And I know
Yeah.
that. And the
Just
most
show up.
the most alpha men I've met in my life, whether they was super up in life, emotionally, physically, financially, whatever, or where they was all the way down, you'll never
You
know.
never know. Yeah.
They clean cut focus at all
Yeah.
times.
It's that grace.
It's that exactly. And
yeah.
and I think as men, that's probably my favorite part of being the man, is being able to provide, whether I have it or not.
Right.
I still have the ability to provide whether you know or whether you don't know.
Right.
And for me, that's priceless. And I think that's why I work the way that I work and move the way that I move, is like I always want to be that person that they call.
Yeah.
I thrive off that. I'm not even gonna lie to you,
for sure.
man.
I feel you, bro.
I take
Like-
great
like-
pride in that as well.
Like
I
somebody
feel
hits
you.
me, I actually feel good about that.
Because you earn that.
Yeah. Yo,
It's not
Mike.
given. Yeah.
Mike,
not
I need,
given.
yeah. Yo, Mike, I need this. Yo, Mike, can you help me out with this? And it doesn't always have to be financially. You know what I mean? It feels good to know that people look at you in a light where they can ask you questions about things.
Right.
So providing
Right.
would definitely be the one for me.
Same thing for me, bro. It's literally protecting and providing. Like
Yeah.
I feel my best, bro, when I give.
Yeah.
I just feel my best. You know what I
Facts.
mean? Like whatever the biggest highlights is of what it is I received, which is some great feelings, you know what I mean? But they almost don't even compare to the moments that I was able to give, right?
Mhm.
And to give and affect change in a way where it's like, because I gave, because I lent you my energy, because I lent you my resources and my finances, it changed your life. It
Mhm.
assisted you in a major way.
Mhm.
That's a beautiful thing, bro.
Oh, 100%, man.
That's
It's
a beautiful
priceless, man.
It's priceless. You know, like I'm just now getting into my life. I've been in New York City for 5 years now.
You're
I
still
was-
a young pup, man.
Bro, I would say 2023. Right. I got a couple more years left in me. I would say 2023. So like the 4th year that I was here is when I first started making like decent money. Everything else was like, it was enough to manage everything that needed to be managed, but
Yep.
like not much more. And then 2023 hit and it was like, okay, like it's looking different. The
Mhm.
taxes is looking different. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Now I can do certain things. Like my dad's birthday, I think it was my dad's like 67th birthday or something like that. Brought him out to New York City.
There you go.
I flew him out to New York City. He didn't know that his daughter was going to be there. He thought it was going to be just me and him.
Okay.
Came into the crib. Sister came out
Boom.
with the birthday cake. He was like, he ain't know.
Yeah.
And it's like being in position to provide. That's still my dad though. That's still the OG.
Yeah,
It's the OG, yeah.
But
Nothing feels better than that, man.
But now it's like I can help in a real way, more
Yep.
than just like write a little card and be like, "Oh, I love you," and that's cool too. That's what your level is. Or like
Yep.
my mom, her birthday, I couldn't be with her in Dallas, right? I had to be here, but it's like I got her an Airbnb, dinner reservations. I got her. My mom had like an old ass Android. No offense to the Android users. I got her an iPhone. Yeah, right. Shooting shots. You know what I mean?
Green bubble gang.
Yeah.
But I got her an iPhone so we could do our FaceTime, and then when she go see her mom, I could FaceTime and I could see her and her mom together.
Bro.
You know what I mean?
Little,
it's like
little things, man.
it's like money isn't everything, but it's like
Yep.
when you get in position to provide whatever that looks like, and you see the joy that it does for other people, I'd be like, bro, I want to be used like that forever. So if I got to keep getting more money, I got to keep getting more money because I got to keep putting that smile on my people's face, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, it's so motivating to have the ability to do for the people that you love.
That's
Like,
what's
I didn't
up.
know that until, just like you said, like my first, I say, probably my first 4 or 5 years being here in the city as a coach, you know, same way, man. I'm making ends meet. Like, I just got to get by, hustling.
Yeah.
You know, I remember I was commuting like 2 hours from Jamaica and Queens all the way up to Upper East Side, you know, taking the train. We ain't got no money for no
Uber
cab or
monies,
Uber.
yeah,
We
my
swiping
man.
through, you know what I mean? We swiping everything. And I remember probably, I would say about like 6-7 years ago now, where I was like, oh, you guys want to go out to dinner? You guys want to come down to the city? And I started taking them to the theater on my mom's birthday. Just saying, like, she never been to like a theater show,
Right?
Because
we both she like that though.
of course she likes it, right? And we all know like this stuff ain't cheap, doing all this kind of stuff. And then but just to have that ability to be like, oh no, don't worry about it. Like, just come on down. I'll take care of dinner. I'll take care of that.
Yeah.
My stomach felt full.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm so happy. I'm barely even watching the theater. I'm more sitting here looking at her and watching her
Making
just
sure
like,
she's enjoying herself.
and
man.
she's so happy and the glow. And
bro.
I
Ain't
know
nothing better than that.
Ain't
man.
nothing better than that.
yeah,
bro.
man. And as a man, I think we feed off of that, man. Like,
For sure.
it feeds us. Like, we actually grow ourselves the more we do that. And
1000%.
oh my, absolutely, man. And like now, I remember, this is my creme de la creme. I'm not gonna lie. She gonna hear this when she sees this, and she gonna be like, "Stop it," you know, when she sees it. But I took him to Jamaica. My stepfather, my mom, and my sister. This was probably like, right after the pandemic, and I went for it, man. I was like, you know what, I could do this.
Wow.
Got a house.
Wow.
What's up?
Got a house in Jamaica.
Wow.
Took care of all the excursion stuff. You know, they went up
What's up?
there.
Man, shout out to the homie for that.
Nah,
bro.
and-
For
and
real.
I'm not
Down for
saying,
the
you
fam.
know me well enough to like, I'm not saying it to like toot, you
No,
know
it's
what
not
I mean?
the flex.
Yeah, it's not. It's just, but man, every bit of that trip, I'll never forget.
I know it.
And I know they'll never forget.
You can see
I
the
know
joy in your face when you tell it. You know
I
what I'm
know
saying?
Oh
it.
man, yeah, man. We took the trip up to Bob Marley's house,
What, bro? Come on,
and they
bro.
were, man. I got the pictures here, man. They're like smiling.
Yeah.
And that's what we live for, man.
That's
To
what we
put the
live for,
smile on
man.
our loved
So-
ones' faces, man.
Just keep tapping in as men, man. We love to provide. We love to protect, like real ones, man.
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
You know who the real ones are.
For sure.
You know.
There's this newer trend that's happening in hip hop where guys are taking it a step further in their level of accessorizing and expressing themselves, and they are painting their fingernails. They're getting designs put on their fingernails, colors. It's beyond like the manicure and making sure you don't got dirt underneath your nails. It's beyond that.
It's beyond that, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like another level, a level that we never seen before. I would love to know what y'all perspective is on that.
I mean, I'll tell you this, you ain't never gonna catch me doing that.
Yeah, I was about to say, you ain't never gonna see.
If that's
Put my hands out here and make sure y'all see. Like,
yeah,
ain't
you know
no
what I mean?
nails,
I'm regular
anything.
degular here.
I'm
man.
just me. I couldn't imagine walking into my house and seeing my family with my nails painted. I'll put it to you like that.
It's wild, man.
The amount of ridicule I would get if I stepped in the home from my father, stepfather, mother, they would look at me like I had 8 heads.
But what if there wasn't ridicule at the house?
If there wasn't,
Would that change how you felt about it a little bit?
no, not at all.
I can't
Because
see
I grew up
myself
with
doing
them. That's their morals and their values and their mindsets have trickled down on to me. I mean, I built my own along the way,
True.
but that one,
Good point.
you know what I mean? Like, we are who our family is to a degree. So,
Absolutely.
For sure.
so yeah, no, you're not.
I ain't knocking nobody. Listen, hey,
Yeah.
I ain't knocking nobody.
I mean,
if you
they
do
gonna
do
come
it,
for me.
that's your thing.
He just talking.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
about
That's your
me and
thing.
my
You do your
nails.
thing.
Nah, ain't nobody talking nothing
I'm just
about your
saying,
nails.
me personally, I couldn't do it.
Yeah, it's just not.
I don't
it's
care
not-
if you do it.
Yeah, I
that's
don't judge
you.
anybody. Like, I don't
Yeah.
think anybody's different because of how they want to express themselves. Like, I've definitely learned in this newer generation that people have found different avenues to express themselves that we might not have
Mhm.
when we were growing up, which I'm
different,
totally
yeah.
cool with because every generation expresses themselves differently.
Differently,
You
absolutely.
know, like our parents, our grandparents, like the way they went about things was not the way that we went about things. So there's no judgment being
Great
passed.
point.
It's just not how I move or not how I would express myself.
Yeah.
Like me, I'm a tattoo guy, you know,
Yeah,
like
right.
I'm inked up from the ground up. And
Yeah.
would my parents like that?
They didn't
Mhm.
like that.
Probably not, you
Yeah.
know? So I can't knock how the next generation's expressing themselves.
That's a really good point, bro.
Yeah.
That's a really level-headed way of going about it. I feel the same way y'all feel about it. When I think about my hands and I think about having color on them or designs, there's absolutely nothing that makes me think that that's cool.
Yeah.
Or it's nothing about it that excites me.
I was about to say that excites you. Yeah.
I don't think it's like complimentary to my aesthetic. You know what I mean? It's just not for me. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it's like I wanna go about sharing that without making somebody feel smaller or like I'm trying to minimize them. You know what I mean?
Not at
Because I
all.
do think, it's a question I'm gonna ask later, but it kind of goes something like this. I think the definition of a man is absolutely changing as time goes on.
Oh,
I don't
wow.
Absolutely.
I don't have kids yet, but I plan on having children one day. And I don't know what it's gonna mean or look like to be a man once my son is my age. I have no idea.
You know you having a son?
God willing. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
absolutely.
The
God
way he
willing.
said it, he knew.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
he
God
knew what was
willing.
going on.
God willing.
Like, okay.
I don't know what that looks like, you know? But one thing I believe about people, I've judged people before, you know, I've judged a book by its cover. I've assumed things based off of how somebody looks before. I just have.
I think
And
we all do
We
that.
all
though.
have, man.
and I've been wrong.
It's human nature.
Right.
Yeah.
And I've been wrong before. But one thing that I think I've learned from my wisdom is that at the end of the day, I kind of delineate things down to this. A nigga with his nails painted could fuck around and save my life one day.
True.
You know?
Yeah.
Doesn't make him any less of a man.
Not at all.
You know, and when it comes to like what does it mean to be a man, I start to kind of, and maybe that's like drastic measures, but sometimes that's really like how human are you is when it's like when the most is being called upon you in that moment, right?
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah.
what if I'm not paying attention and the car's sliding my way? What if some dudes got ill intentions for me? Then the dude come out like, oh, I got you. Oh, you weren't paying attention. Like, you know what I mean? Like, whatever it is, you know, somebody come through and they give me assistance that's like life-changing. Like, is this man any less of a man because his nails painted when he just actually helped change my life? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You never know who God gonna send through to be a blessing for you.
That's a
Not
whole
at all.
fact.
And I mean, like when you asked me the definition earlier, there's nothing I said
Right.
that would
100%.
change that if the person's nails are bent.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
So there's nothing I said earlier
100%.
that's going to differentiate
100%.
me being more of a man and that person being more of a man.
Agree.
So it's all still falls underneath the same umbrella. You know, the umbrella might be a different color, but you know,
Mhm.
that's all right though.
It's still an umbrella.
It's still an umbrella though.
Right. So speaking of nails getting painted, obviously. Speaking of that, I'm gonna
Checking
just
mine right now. Though.
yeah. I'm gonna transition that into women, right? I think we living in a generation. No, I don't think we are. We are living in a generation where it seems like it's like no love, bro. We can't find no peace. Everything is about what somebody not doing, what somebody doing wrong.
Mm.
Nothing about what's bringing us together. Nothing about what we have in common. We don't have those type of conversations. All the conversation these days is about like what separates us. And bro, I'm guilty of that shit. You know what I mean? I found a little lick on social media where I'm not saying nothing I don't believe, but it's like, oh, you tap into something and you realize, oh, you can get numbers like that. You can go viral like that when you speak to a certain audience.
Mm-hmm.
In this moment, I want to ask y'all, what do you appreciate most about a woman? I want women to be able to see this and maybe their first impression is like, here these niggas go again talking about women. But I want them to stay just a couple seconds longer and be like, oh, wow, I actually appreciated that, because I don't actually get to hear men say that, because usually on my timeline, I hear what we not doing, what's wrong with us, what we need to do.
I like that.
You know what I mean? But like,
like
what
that a
can
lot.
we say to maybe give them some encouragement or just send them some positive vibes as they scrolling through their timeline, because they gonna see this.
I'm gonna let Mike hit this first.
You gonna let him do it for that?
I got it. I just want to hear what the guy gonna say. You know what I mean? This is my guy right here.
I mean,
I got a lot of love and respect for this man, so I got to hear what you're
always,
gonna
baby,
say.
always. What I appreciate most about a woman is her ability to make me feel empowered
Mm-hmm.
about myself, whether she knows it or not.
Mm-hmm.
And I think women have the ability to do so, whether they think so or not. It's in them, it's ingrained in them, right? Just
Mhm.
like we have properties in ourselves as men that we provide. And I think as women, they don't understand like what they do for men, like how they make us feel, how they make us feel strong, how they make us feel confident,
Mhm.
right? Like how they put the battery in our back, or they can calm us down in the same manner.
Mhm.
I think women have this innate power to pretty much centralize us as men,
Mhm.
and they don't realize it. And I want y'all to just take that, like look at your husband, your boyfriend, your brother, your friend, or whatever. Say they're going through like a stressful day, and just your words alone as a woman, man, you can bring that man back home. You can bring
Absolutely.
he could be on 9, like ready to just say F it, I don't want to do this anymore. As a woman, your ability to, I've seen this on a TikTok before, where it's like, oh, my man had a rough day, watch me change that. And the guy got in the car, he looked angry, right? She went like this and just put her hand on the back of his head, man, and just did a couple like,
Right.
and you could see
Right.
his shoulders drop.
Yeah.
And I'm like, only women can do that.
Yeah.
So you guys got the power, man. You guys
Yeah.
have the power to change our morale, our energy, and our approach to things. Absolutely.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's why I let the man go first.
Yeah.
I knew he was-
You want to say
just-
yours for last?
Yeah, I mean, just their ability to have emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think that is the greatest thing I think a woman brings to the table.
Absolutely.
Because I think that's where we lack in certain aspects.
Mm-hmm.
But their ability to provide that emotional intelligence, man, that is something that I feel like is priceless.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I look for in a woman, like, that emotional intelligence, and if they have a good moral compass.
Yes.
Because you have to understand, right? Any woman you meet is going to be a potential life mate, right? So
Mhm.
I'm looking at qualities in a woman that I know she'll be able to instill in my children.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
because when I'm not around, who's going to be raising my children? When I'm out providing and protecting, who's raising my children, right? So I need to look for those things, right? Is this woman going to be a suitable mother? Is she going to ingrain, a sense of spirituality, a sense of self,
Mm-hmm.
And be able to maintain a home? You know what I'm saying? So, and when I say maintain a home, right, I don't mean cook, clean, and all of that. I mean being able to be present and understand that when I walk in and I had a shit day, can you bring me up from that?
Mhm.
Exactly
If
what
you
I'm speaking
have
to, yeah.
the receptors, right? If you to know that I had a day, right? And maybe not ask me, but just the little actions, right? All the minutial things that people don't even realize that they do brings me up. She needs to be on the same frequency as me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And understand that, hey, I had a bad day. I need somebody to pick me up. That's your job.
Yeah.
Talk to
You know what
him.
I'm saying?
Talk to him, man.
Yeah.
Y'all got the power, man. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Y'all got the power to change a man's mood, his
Yeah.
morale, his energy. Y'all got it, man.
With the slightest thing too.
Yeah.
It don't
It
even
don't
have
take
to be
much.
big. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alphas don't need much, man. If
Fact.
we don't need much. If we veering left by a degree, or even if it's 90 degrees, all we need is a little tap,
That's it. You go right back on course.
and I'm right back on track.
Just
So
need that right energy though.
100%. Yeah.
For mine is just like an extension of kind of what both of y'all said. Like I really admire that women are very lighthearted.
Yeah.
They're very lighthearted. Women know how to laugh. They know how to not take things so serious all the
serious.
time.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They know how to look at things on the bright side. You know what I mean? They know how to make something. They know how to take something to the next level. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
They are very emotionally intelligent, like you said. They're very intuitive.
Mhm.
Yes,
I mean,
intuitive. I
they're
probably
very
use that
intuitive,
word.
you know?
Yeah.
Very.
And then just them just being feminine, that's a beautiful thing. You know what
Yep.
I mean? Like smelling good, like being a joy to be around, being funny, being soft, being nurturing, being fly. You know what I mean? Being fly.
I was just about to say that.
You know what I mean?
Ain't nothing better.
Yeah.
You got a woman
That's a
and
fact.
she dressed to the 9.
Yeah.
Right. You're not worried. You don't see nothing else.
Right. You know?
You don't see nothing else.
Yeah.
No matter where you at, what you doing.
That's a fact.
That energy is like,
Yeah.
boom.
Be in a safe space too. You know what I mean? Like I can't even
Yeah.
tell you how many conversations I've had with a woman, whether the relationship was intimate or platonically, that I just couldn't have with my mans for whatever reason. Maybe it
Mhm.
wasn't the right time,
Yep.
or it was just too close to the chest. You know what I mean? And like I could talk to her about that, and I know that my secrets, so to speak,
Are
is
safe.
like safe with her. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So women they're a safe space. It's really an unlimited amount of beautiful things to say about them. But
Seriously, man.
yeah, I owe like almost all the significant help that I've received in my life, like to a woman, to be completely honest with you. Like anytime, I'm just be completely honest with you, bro. Anytime I got like a major bump up in like some type of career position, it was probably a woman that was behind it for me. You know what I mean? Anytime like I really needed some money or I was really down bad, whether I asked for it or I didn't, it was probably a woman. And that's just what it is. The truth be told, like
Now you speaking facts,
yeah,
though, man.
like all
You're
my
not- you're not-
homies
yeah.
had a lot of. One thing I'm grateful for, I had a lot of friends, got a lot of perspective, but a lot of my homies was knuckleheads. You know what I mean? They
Yeah.
was not getting it together. Like some of my homies probably just now got they fucking debit card type shit. You know what I mean? That's just the world that I'm coming from. You
Yeah.
know? And the women, they on their shit. They focus.
Yeah, they always squared away.
Nah, they good way earlier than men are.
You know?
They mature a lot earlier than
Oh,
we do.
100%. We take a couple lumps before we start
Yeah,
hitting
men got to
stride.
suffer
Yeah.
a little bit before they can even. You
We
know,
all
you
got to.
see the light. You got to
Yeah.
go through some shit.
You know?
Maybe more than once.
I was just about to say, like, I feel like as men, we are meant to suffer to a certain degree. We're supposed to
100%.
hit the rock bottom once or twice along the way.
Mm-hmm.
Women, they're not. I don't say they're not built for it because they're tough and
Yeah.
they're strong as women are. But I think men, we're supposed to go through stuff like that.
Yeah.
They're supposed to pull us up out of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know
They-
I done been through it.
100%. Because every time, like you said, like I can even recall too, like, yeah, man, like the biggest hurdles I've had to get through, a woman was right there
Mm-hmm.
helping me along the way. Whether
Mhm.
it was talking to me through it,
Right.
financially helping me through it,
Right.
like
Just
emotional
being
support,
honest.
and just being real. Like my boys are my boys,
Yeah.
you know, and we all have this. We got friends that we can communicate to on different levels.
On different
Mhm.
levels.
You know, I got some superficial friends that I talk to about the same stuff every day.
Yeah.
I got another group of friends that I talk to about certain other topics, and then I got this other small group of friends where I could tell almost everything to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because as men, we don't say 100%.
100%.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be real. I don't meet a lot of men, you know, where they can be like, yeah, I got like 2 or 3 boys. I tell everything too. Most of the time, no, you don't.
That's just
But
true.
you got your mom
100%.
or a sister
100%.
or you know, a
Yeah.
significant other.
Yeah, significant other. Yeah.
You tell them everything,
It's true.
Fact.
and you don't even hold anything back
Yeah.
because a woman makes you feel good to do that. Like
Right.
they give you that feeling in your stomach where it feels right to communicate with them
Right.
and tell them all your weaknesses and all your flaws. And you know, that's why we were saying earlier, like they got it. They got something in them that we don't
That
have.
we don't have.
That
yeah.
we don't have as men,
Mm-hmm.
and we don't know how to articulate ourselves when it comes to our emotions or siphon through our emotions or our downfalls and pitfalls. Women know how to look at it,
I'm telling you.
peel it apart,
I'm telling
put
you.
it back together.
I'm telling you.
Go ahead, go do your
Yeah,
thing now.
a good one. A good one.
A good one.
Yeah,
Can't say all.
not all,
Yeah,
not
for
all.
sure, for sure,
A
for
real
sure.
one.
They ain't shooting 100%. You know,
Yeah.
sure.
That's all right, though.
Let me ask you guys this. What does pressure look like at work for you?
Well, your pressure's a lot different than mine.
Yeah,
So go
for
ahead,
sure.
talk to him, because your pressure is
Yeah.
a lot different than mine.
Yeah, the pressure, you know, in my line of work just looks different. Every day is something
Because
different. You know what I'm saying?
You're a police
I'm a
officer.
police officer. So there's internal stuff that creates pressure, and there's external stuff that creates pressure. So I get it from different angles. So just being able to move in a sense where like it goes back to me understanding like my blessings,
Mhm.
right? So I was saying this to myself the other day, right? So I got caught up in the moment. I had a coworker who was just having a conversation, and maybe this person wasn't vibrating on the proper frequency, right? So what happens is if you're in a room like that, right, you're going to then vibrate on that frequency, right? You're going to fall victim to it. And then I had to stop myself, right? Because this time last year, I was praying to be in the position that I'm in now,
Mm.
right? And so as I'm sitting there shit talking what's happening, like, you know, I'm like, damn, bro, a year ago I prayed to be here and I'm here. Now I'm kind of shitting on the blessings that I was given. So I had to stop myself and be like, yo, don't get caught up in the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Understand that you prayed for this, and now this thing is in front of you, and this is what you wanted, and now you sitting here, you're not even paying homage and being grateful for that. So like pressure for me is just comes from, it's like different angles. You have that's the internal, and the external is just being villainized, right? And we're moving in a world where no one's being held accountable for their actions. Man, I watched some footage today of a man punch a 76-year-old woman as she was walking into church.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So like the stress that I get from that is that man is running the streets right now. And that woman could have been my grandmother, could have been somebody related to you, somebody related to you, who was doing nothing other than trying to, pay her respects and go to church. And it, that's the stressful part, that I go out there and I try to fight the good fight. I try to be the positive voice and give back to my community. And then you see things like that. So that's what like stress looks like for me on, in my workspace.
What do you do to de-escalate from that?
Honestly, I pour a lot into myself, man. Like I make sure every day I wake up, I set myself up for success.
That's good.
There's 3 things I got to do every single day. One of them is move my body. The second thing is pray. And the third thing is meditate. And if I do those 3 things, I set myself up for success. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Make sure my chakras is aligned before I leave the crib.
Body, and spirit.
Yeah, because if I don't have sound mind, body, and spirit, I may go outside and do something uncharacteristic of me. So I make sure that I set myself up for success every single day. And every night I come home, I say this thing, man. I said, I always say, thank you, Father, for allowing me to return home with sound mind, body, and spirit.
Come on.
And that's something that I say every time I walk in.
Talk to him.
You know what I mean? Because the fact that we leave our house and get to come back, man, that's a gift. I think people take that for granted. We could walk outside and Lord knows what's going to happen, and that'd be your last day on earth. So I just always give thanks and praise for that.
Talk to him, man.
Got chills hearing that shit.
Yeah, I ain't even gonna lie.
It's real talk, man.
For real.
Nah, for real. Yeah, you stress making me out. I'm not stressed.
Yeah, right. Do you hear me? It's like, hey, man.
You about to ask me the same question? Nah, don't worry about it. I'm not stressed at all. My life is great, wonderful, amazing, all that good stuff. I guess
nothing's gonna compare, especially when you know the occupation.
Yeah, like I'm taking the L on this one. But for me, in the beginning, it was definitely more stressful than it is now. When I was starting out in my career as a health coach, I was so emotionally tied in to like trying to get results for clients. And I remember I put more pressure on myself than I was putting on clients. Because I was like, if they're not getting X, Y, and Z out of working with me, what am I doing wrong?
You care that much.
I'm like, I must be doing something wrong. I'm not good at this. Like, I'm tearing myself up. Like, maybe I don't know enough and things like that. So there's definitely some mental fatigue that goes on in what I do every day, because, people are looking to you for a positive influence on not just their physical health, but their emotional and their mental well-being.
Right.
Like, as a health coach, we're not just a one-stop shop. I mean, we are a one-stop shop for everything. People think like, oh, he's just teaching me how to lift weights, or he's just teaching me how to eat certain food. And it's like, no, I'm sitting here trying to tell you how to balance stress management. Like, how do you balance your relationship with like your husband and your kids, but still try to take care of yourself, or vice versa, the husband and wife? And like, how do you do all of these things, but still have a healthy mind, body, and soul? Like, how do you do all that? And I think for a long time, I used to let that eat me up a little bit more than I do now. Now I'm very much at peace with what I bring to the table as a coach. And because I know I put the time in, and I know I put the work in, and I know I've saturated myself in the ability to help others. And so I'm definitely just more appreciative of who I get to work with, and not stressed about who I get to work with now. Because like I said, there's about a couple of years there, man, where I was like, man, this might not be for me. And I think something's wrong with me. And it's like, you have to take a step back and be like, you can't be so emotionally tied to what you do for a living.
That's good game.
Talk to him.
You got to be able to separate the two. Like,
yes.
Like when I click off with a client, I can't be sitting there racking my brains like, damn, why didn't she lose 5 pounds like I had planned for it? Like, no, it's all right, Mike. You're going to go back to this board. You're going to see if you can make some minor adjustments, or just reinforce things that you've already talked to your client about, and make sure that they're doing those things, because you know that they work. but are they doing the work too?
Yeah.
And I've been able to separate that better as I've gotten deeper in the game, where like people are only going to get as much out of having a coach in their life that they put into
Put
it.
in. Yep.
It's not the coach's inability to get results,
Right. Damn, that's deep, bro.
you know?
That's
And
heavy.
I think we got to,
Talk to him, Mike. Shit.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
heavy.
you know, you just have to have an ability to separate your passion from your emotions. Like, am I passionate about getting results with clients? Absolutely, man. I want everybody to be walking around here with less body fat, more muscle, less obesity,
Looking the way they want to look.
looking they want to look, being
Mhm.
confident with themselves, being able to run around with their kids, pick up the kids,
Mhm.
you know, go on fun excursions and not have to worry about getting fatigued or they're being too weak to do certain things. I want everybody to do that. But is that the reality of where we at right now?
No.
Nah. Some people are starting from scratch, man. Some people don't even know how to get up off the couch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
That's a sad fact. but it's
I
true.
used to let that drive me up the wall, but I realized I'm only one person.
Yeah.
And I can only change as many lives as I can communicate with. So things like this platform and other platforms and such are great for that. But yeah, I think that was huge for me. But you know, now I just know how to just separate them, man. That's all. I just know how to separate the two now.
Yeah. What I think what I do is definitely a lot. I would say what I do is a lot easier than what the both of you guys do for a
Mm.
living. What y'all do is definitely a lot more demanding on you guys in a lot of different ways. I would say what I do is simple, but it can become very hard in certain kind of ways.
Yep.
And the main thing is like people don't understand that technology is not perfect.
No.
That's the biggest that's the biggest number one issue with this job. It's like you will put something in motion to export episodes. Like you come here, you do shows all the time. So
Yep.
it's like you could come in, you could do like 4 episodes, you need them by tomorrow. You know what I mean? You gotta have them by tomorrow because you gotta get it to the people for the ads so they can put the ads in it so you can get paid whatever
Yeah.
it is. And then like I could wake up maybe like 6 o'clock in the morning, maybe 9 o'clock in the morning. I don't plan on coming into the studio till 4 or whatever it is. And then it's like none of my shit came through, bro. And I need that shit now. You know what
Oh,
I mean? And then it's
shit.
like, okay, I got to change my whole plan for the day.
Yep.
You know, and like the business model of this job is you don't get paid hourly, you get paid per booking. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of work that happens where you're not getting paid for that work. You know what I mean? And then you gotta like, I mean, I spent the night at the studio before just to make sure somebody got what they paid for, you know what I mean? Or just so they could continue to do what they need to do with it. And it's like, dog, like I didn't look. It can just be very taxing in that way. And another thing is coming to New York City, I'm not from here. I don't have any family here or no friends here. So it's like when I came here with a mission. I was like, I need to get this money
Yeah.
so I can take care of myself and provide for myself. And now that I'm in this position, because the job is not hourly, you get paid as many shows as you work. So I'm trying to work as many shows as humanly possible, right?
Mhm.
And when I first got here, that was perfect. That was perfect. Because I'm like, I need to get as many dollar bills as humanly possible. But now I'm at this place in my life where I'm kind of seeing like price and value is two different things,
Mm.
right? And there's a price that I want to make. I want to try to get, even though I'm not in control of the schedule because it depends on how many people decide to book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm starting to understand that like the price that I get, that number that I'm trying to get, I would love to get. I'm questioning if it's actually matching up to the value that I actually give to this company and just the value that I see within myself. Because I can tell you like confidently, like at least 2 years, I did not see a season change in the studio.
Yeah.
I didn't see a leaf change. You know what I mean? I was just in this bitch
Mhm.
Yeah.
every single day.
Grinding.
And that's what I needed it to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what it was.
Absolutely.
But then you step back and you realize like, but bro, I'm gonna be honest with you, like, you do want more money, but it gotta be another way though.
I ain't gonna lie, you speaking my language.
Yo, yeah. It
Yo,
that resonates with me right now.
Right?
Yeah.
Yo,
Has
like
to be a better way.
that was reason for my my recent move down to Texas now, man, is because I went through exactly what you're talking about right now.
Yeah.
It's like, can I make more money right now? Absolutely. But is it worth everything that goes into making that dollar bill?
You know?
But you have to go through
You do,
that process that you were talking about, that grind stage.
for sure.
And like we talked about this a couple times now, but as men, we gotta go through those bottom of the
Sure.
barrel moments. Like
Got to get molded, bro.
that, man, absolutely, man. You come out looking like a block, and then you come out looking like a sculpted statue. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
we gotta go through that stuff. So
Yeah.
you speak in facts, because there's a lot of men out there who are probably going through that grind stage, and maybe they don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. But we want them to know that, like, man, it's coming.
It's coming.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like you're not gonna be able to put an exact timetable on it. I can't put a day or a week or a month or
That
a
part.
year. I can't tell you exactly when it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
That
But I can
part.
tell you that if you're consistent and you're disciplined and in
Come
your
on.
passion, it's gonna click.
Come on.
It's gonna click. And you know, we've all done it, man. So you speak in jewels, but you're in the position now where you gotta probably make a decision or two. I tell people all the
Yeah.
time, that's a great position to be in.
It is, bro.
Yeah, man.
It is.
When you no longer have to be like this with the blinders on,
Yeah,
and
bro.
you're able to take down a couple
Yeah,
layers and
bro.
start looking,
Start looking at
Yeah,
the big
bro.
picture.
man,
Yeah.
that is amazing.
That's a position
good
of
problem.
privilege.
That's a good problem. Yeah,
That's exactly what it is. I was gonna
Yeah,
say that.
It's
You
a
took it right
position of
out.
privilege.
yeah. So
Position of
it's
privilege.
a good thing, not a bad thing, man. So I wish you the best in it.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah.
And so my last question, y'all, is if you're out and about, you're doing your thing. Let's say 5 years from now, you're way further in what you're trying to do right now.
Mm.
So you got the prestige, you got the accolades, you got the respect, very financially stable. You got all the things you were looking for that you maybe don't have today. 5 years from now, you meet a little kid, young boy, reminds you of yourself some kind of way. He way at the beginning. Family situation is not best. Everything's not best. He feels like he might have the world against him in a lot of different ways, but he knows about you because you're famous or you've done what you've done.
Mhm.
And so he has a moment to walk past you and has a moment to talk to you for a moment, and he asking you for advice. And he want to know, what does it take? What would you tell that little boy?
Hmm.
You want to go first on this one?
Nah, I'm gonna let you take it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna let Mike rock. You know what I'm saying?
Get out of here.
'Cause Mike usually gets. I usually go off of. We think
we think very
similar,
Yeah,
man. And
we
so-
cut from a similar cloth.
yeah,
Yeah.
So usually with like most of the stuff that you say, I'm like spot on with it. So
Yeah,
I'm
no,
very
I
curious.
think because I was that kid, man. That's the crazy part, man. Like I was
Mhm.
such a knucklehead, and I had no direction and no drive and no real purpose. So I could definitely that
relate
hits,
to
that
that.
hits home a little bit.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
for sure.
To be where I'm at right now. So if I actually had just like 60 seconds, like
Mhm.
just a minute to sit there and
Quick
say anything,
minute.
my biggest priority would be is you need to find something and someone in your life, whether that's family or somebody good, that is going to feed whatever you are passionate about. You need to find what you're passionate about, and you need to find it now. Don't wait
Mhm.
till tomorrow. Don't wait till a week from now. Find it, whether it's making you money now or not making you money, or it's not
Mhm.
pushing you in a financially stable. It's fine. You're gonna
Mhm.
find a way to make money for it. But I think as men, we need to find what we love, and we need to find what makes us, what fills us, right, and what feeds us. The quicker we find that, the quicker we gonna get on track. And I think that's it for me. Because I mean,
That's a good game.
nah, I mean it because what I'm doing now in my life, I wasn't doing in the beginning.
Mhm.
When I got out of school, I was working a job here, working a
Mhm.
job here. There was no direction to it. There was no purpose. I was just working to work.
Mhm.
And if I continued on that path,
Working to
I probably wouldn't be sitting here right now. So I think as men, we need to find what we love, what we're passionate about, what fills us with joy, happiness, and success, and tap into it, whether it's giving us financial gain or not, because as men, we're going to figure out a way to get this money. And as long as we're passionate about it, we're going to be all right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what you was gonna say, bro.
Yeah. So in essence, I was gonna say the same thing. You got to
Yeah.
figure out what your purpose is.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? The Japanese call it ikigai, right?
Mm.
So, when you go to work every single day and you just kind of look at that job as like that's your purpose of living, right? Okay, cool. That might be you might be passionate about this and it's making you money, but what happens when you got to retire,
Mhm.
right? And you no longer do that, right? Did you move in the purpose that God created for you? So find your purpose,
Yep.
right? And if you're passionate about that, you're going to make money. The universe will create a way for you to make money off of that.
Yes, it will.
But if you go to work every single day and you enjoy what you do, it's not really work. It's you fulfilling your purpose. It's you moving in alignment with the person that you're supposed to be. So that's spot on with what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? I would, if I could tell any young man anything, it would be that. Figure out what your gift is. We all have a gift, right? Cultivate that gift, right? Because that's eventually is going to make another human being better. And that's the ultimate act of being a human being, is inspiring and helping others. When you move in that purpose, money's gonna find a way in your life.
100%.
Right? And when you wake up every morning, you're gonna have a zest to kind of get out and go make this money because you're gonna be doing something that you enjoy.
Yeah, that's good.
Talk
You
to
know what I
him.
mean? So
Talk to him.
That's
it's the
good.
simple things.
I would tell him. I would tell him, whatever you do, don't stop.
Yep. Yep.
Whatever you do,
Because it's easy to stop.
don't stop. You know, it'd be so many reasons to stop. It'd be so many reasons. It'd be so many opportunities. Sometimes they look like people.
Yep.
Sometimes they look like
Circumstance.
circumstances.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Going through that shit right
I
now.
would tell him, if I had a quick minute, I'm like, bro, I'm about to hop on this jet real quick, whatever the fuck it is. But like, listen, don't stop. Don't feel sorry for yourself.
Yep.
It is what it is.
Yep.
You know
Don't
what
make
I mean?
excuses.
Don't make excuses.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you.
People doing that
There's
too
a
much.
lot of that
There's
now.
a lot of that nowadays. So not to interrupt.
No, you good. You good. I
Nah.
mean,
Because ain't no perfect time.
Not at
Yeah.
all, man. Not at all.
the cards you have is the cards you have.
Yep.
Play them shits.
Yep.
Find some good people. Find some
Make sure your
good
circle's
people.
right, man.
Yep.
No disrespect to none of my homies who listening to this. No disrespect to none of y'all. But my life started to elevate one time. I started moving around. And it was hard to move around because what I knew was staying in Texas. That's what I knew. I came out here by myself. That wasn't easy, bro.
Not
So-
at all.
Yo, that's a
Shit
power
was-
move,
That
bro.
was
Super
scary,
powerful.
dog. That shit was scary.
Yeah.
Starting over, it's like, I don't want to start over. I don't really
Yeah.
want to do that. You
Of
know
course
what I mean?
not.
So, you know, don't live in fear. Find some good people. Don't make excuses.
Don't
Whatever you
stop.
do, don't stop.
Yeah.
And man, take risk.
Be a
You
man.
got to.
Take the risk. I
Gotta
feel
take
like
the
the
risk.
risk are like
Can't play it safe.
those are like the portals to the other side. That's the difference between where you at and what you're trying to do. Like,
Yeah.
That's the difference
You
between
gotta,
good and
you gotta
great.
take the leap of faith, man. You
for
gotta
sure.
take it, man.
You gotta take the
You
leap.
gotta
of
take the
faith.
leap of
I
faith.
believe it.
And it ain't gonna be safe. It's not
Nah.
gonna feel safe.
Nah. You're gonna fall for a little bit.
It's gonna be like, but what if I don't land? You might not land,
You might
bro.
not land
Yeah.
right away, bro.
Listen, if your dreams don't scare you, you're not dreaming big enough.
There you go.
That's what I live by that, man.
With that being said, y'all,
Dropped it on him.
I love this, bro. How do y'all feel about this?
Oh,
This
bro.
shit was fire.
Fire,
Yeah.
bro. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Nah, for real.
I gained
man.
a lot from this conversation, man. I like being in rooms like this because I feel like this is the best way to grow and learn, man. You got to be in rooms with other smart, intelligent men and exchange ideas and just listen to how other people think or how they approach different things, you know, because there's 1,000 different ways to solve
Yep.
a problem, you know, and it's not, in my way may not be the right way.
It
You know
ain't
what I'm
just
saying?
one way.
It ain't just one way. So I like to listen and see how people, you know, move in certain situations.
Yeah.
Because then maybe I can learn something from that.
100%.
You know what I mean? I'm always looking to learn and up my game. I'm always that's why I'm always asking questions.
Yeah.
Because if you're willing to give free game, I'm gonna take it. You know what I'm
Hell
saying?
yeah.
Because I know like
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
if it's a man I respect, if it's people I respect, I'm listening and I'm taking notes. You
I'm
know what saying?
annoying, bro. In the best way.
In
I
the
know
best
I am.
way.
I'm annoying. as
No
hell.
shame. Like,
Nah, but
yeah.
yeah. Man, you
Ask
see how I
questions.
meant?
yeah, for
I'm
sure. For
I
sure.
don't care. I'm
Yeah.
like, bro, I know if I know something is gonna be worth it and it's gonna feed into how I'm trying to move, I'm gonna ask you. Like, I'm gonna ask you questions. I'm gonna bother you about things that I know are beneficial, not just for myself, but maybe for others that, you know what I mean? Like, hell yeah, bro. I love that, man. I can't not talk to somebody every day, like about something to better myself. You know what I mean? In some shape or form. Like, shit, I annoy the hell out of Rashawn, bro. Like, for real, man. Like, he's a father now. I'm like, dude, I gotta pick his brain because, you know, knock on wood, like, you know,
Yeah.
who knows? But I'd rather know ahead of time than not.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And like little stuff like that, man. Like, you in this space here, like, bro, I admire everything that you're doing. Bro.
Thank you, bro.
And I've been telling you that.
You give love all the time.
All
bro.
the time.
All
I've
the
been
time,
telling
bro.
you that, bro. Since
Yeah,
jumping
man.
into
You
the
the reason.
You too.
You're the reason why I up my media game, man. So
Yeah, bro,
like I came in here, I seen how you was operating, you was moving. I said it inspired me. I'm like, well, maybe I gotta do something on my end of the world
Yeah.
and try to get something.
Nah,
going,
bro,
man.
for real.
So,
You
bro,
put
for
the
real,
you
for
put
real.
the
Thank
you put
For
the
real, brother.
battery in people's bags, whether you realize it or not. Like
Yeah.
that first couple of trips I took up here, and you saw me. I was the first one in
Every time, bro. Sharp.
for all the time, and I'm coming from halfway across the country. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to see what you did coming from halfway across the country, I was like, oh no, I can't stop. I'm here every month.
Mhm.
Don't worry about it. Like, and every
Mhm.
time you ask me, you be like, damn, you really flying
Every time,
month?
bro. I'll be like,
You really
damn,
flying
bro.
every
Man,
month for
up
this?
here, B.
And I'd be like, yeah, because I believe in this. And I
Yeah.
know it's gonna come to fruition one day. So you a big part of that, bro.
Thank you, bro.
Super facts.
You a big part of that.
Thank you.
So don't stop.
Yeah. Nah, don't stop.
Yeah, take your own advice.
Yeah, man. I really appreciate y'all for giving y'all time to be here. It's late. I got 100 million things y'all could be doing. So